Welcome back, refurbers and scruffy looking nerve herders. Scruffy looking here. Do you have an old game cartridge that's an okay looking label but is yellowed, chipped, and marked up? Well, look no more, because I'm going to show you how to fix that today. Here we got Rockman World. It's got marked on its back. It's all yellowed. The label's okay, but you know, it's even got chips inside. Chips on the cartridge itself. Yeah, it's really nasty. So I'm going to show you how to make it go from this to looking better. And let's get on to the tools, what you're going to need today. So, you're going to need the secret weapon, an X-Acto knife, a game bit screwdriver, some plastic or rubber gloves, alcohol wipe tissues, the cartridges you want to swap the label off of, and some new donor cartridges, and your beverage of choice, of course. So this is Super Potato. Maybe you've heard of it. It's here in Tokyo, one of the more famous places to get retro games and game stuff. Now, being in Tokyo and being the most famous, you'd think this might be pretty expensive. Well, you'd be right, because this place is probably one of the more expensive places, having Game Boys for going $120 to $90. But there are spots like this in here that are actually a bargain. This corner, I picked up a few Game Boy cartridges to use as a donor. As you can see here, these two were only 20 yen a piece, and that's really cheap. Please let me know how much you paid for yours. We're gonna get into this by cleaning up the cartridges, and we're gonna take our secret weapon, which is, drumroll please, lighter fluid. It's really good for taking off stickers. Toypoloi is where I got the idea from. He refurbishes toys and all kinds of other things using this lighter fluid to take off old stickers and reapply them. So thanks, Toypoloi. The first thing you want to do is apply the lighter fluid liberally. Wait for about 1 to 1.5 minutes, then slowly pry up a corner using an X-Acto knife or your fingernail. And then just slowly peel back a little at a time. And if you get stuck, don't try to rush it like I did here. You know, just stop and apply more lighter fluid and let it sit for a bit, and then pull it off. That's pretty much how it works. We got the label off this old Mahjong game, and I'm just gonna open it up, take the card out of it so that we can swap it out with the Rockman card. Let's just wipe all the excess lighter fluid out of the cartridge itself. Got our Rockman. This is the one we want to keep the label as pristine as we can. So just get your game bit screwdriver, take off the screw. Game Boy games are pretty easy to do. Just pull out the card. Then we got our top of our game cart ready. Splash some lighter fluid on there. Okay, let it sit for at least 1.5 to 2 minutes before you attempt to pull up a corner. I'm just going to speed it up here because you don't want to watch that for 2.5 minutes. Okay, and a thing I realized halfway through is it's important not to, if you put a lot on at first, it's important to soak it up. You don't want to leave it sitting there for too long, or it will damage the label. So that is my warning to y'all. If you're going to do this, don't use too much at once, and if you do, try and wipe it up. You don't want it to sit on the label for too long. There is a certain amount you want to put on. You don't want to put on too much at once, because it will damage the label. Just give it a good rub down. This cartridge was really well loved because it had lots of scratches on it, and it was really nasty looking, as you know. Okay, so now we got our donor cart with the Rockman card inside of it, and we're just gonna button it up. Now we're ready for our label. Pull out your label now that it's all dried up and its stickiness is back. line it up evenly. This is the most difficult part, probably, lining it back up. Yep, it's just sticking on there. Just tap it on. There it is. It's on a much cleaner cart. It looks much better in my opinion. So let's compare it to the previous, what it was looking before. There it is. Now it's the Mahjong cart, but as you can see, the cartridge itself is much cleaner looking. That yellowness is, this cart doesn't have any yellowness. It looks really good. And it doesn't have that chip on the bottom or the markings on the back either.
Warning. The following scene contains mutilation of an original Game Boy label. Viewer discretion is advised.
So, I put too much lighter fluid on and waited too long. I think I waited 2.5 minutes and I started to pry it up. And as you can see here, the protective film on the label started to come up as well. So there's a little plastic film on the label too. If you leave the lighter fluid sit for too long, it will take the stickiness off of that too, and it will come off. So take a look here, you can see the clear plastic coming off there. Yeah, so be very careful how much you use. If you use too much, this could happen to you. So you can see how it damaged the label. There's these little lines where it pulled the paint off the sticker, and there is the protective film right there. So, well, the card itself looks much better, but the label I damaged. So, my warning to you, don't use too much. If you get too much on there, just wipe it up with a tissue, because it'll dry out fast. Just don't let it sit too long. That's the whole warning. And there they are. 2 cartridges, brand new looking. Thank you for watching to the end. I really appreciate it and it means a lot to me. Please let me know down in the comments if you tried today's label removal method and how it worked out for you. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing and clicking the bell so you won't miss out on any future retro game and creative shenanigans.